Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
My name is Jenna Finch, and I've always found solace in the quiet hum of the City Historical Society. The smell of old paper, the gentle dust motes dancing in sunbeams filtering through tall windows, it's a sanctuary. For 2 years, I've been a junior archivist here, painstakingly cataloging the forgotten lives of the city's past. I love the order, the tangible connection to history. It's safe, predictable, or so I thought. A few months ago, a new acquisition arrived: the personal effects of the Blackwood Estate. Everyone in town knows the stories: the grand, decaying mansion, the whispers of tragedy that clung to its ivy-covered walls for over a century. Our director, Alfred Jetter, tasked me with processing the collection. It was vast, morbidly fascinating. Among the mildewed ledgers and tarnished silverware, I found a wooden box filled with daguerreotypes and a leather-bound journal. They belonged to Eleonora Vance, the last mistress of Blackwood, who vanished without a trace in the late 1800s. The daguerreotypes, fixed images on polished silver, held a particular draw. They showed Eleonora in various poses, seated in a lush garden, standing stiffly beside a grand piano, a formal portrait with a faint, unsettling smile. The first time I saw her face, a jolt went through me. It was strikingly similar to my own. Same heart-shaped face, a similar slight curve to the nose, even the same prominent mole just under my left eye. I chuckled, showing one to Colton Salisbury, a senior archivist I looked up to. "Look, my Victorian doppelganger," I joked. He squinted at it, then at me. "Creepy, Jenna, like looking in a mirror that's been aged 100 years. That was the first crack in the sanctuary. As I continued to sort through Eleonora's things, the resemblance ceased being a curiosity and became an obsession. I found myself poring over her journal, her elegant script detailing the mundanities of estate life, interspersed with melancholic poems and increasingly frantic entries about feeling watched by unseen eyes, and a recurring nightmare of a stranger wearing my face. My own reflections started to feel off. I'd catch glimpses of myself in the polished surfaces of old mahogany desks or the darkened glass of a display case, and for a split second it wasn't quite me staring back. It was Eleonora. Then the photographs began to change. I swear to you they did. At first it was subtle. Eleonora's eyes in the garden daguerreotype seemed to follow me across the room. Her mouth, previously a thin, polite line, seemed to curve into a knowing smirk in the piano portrait. I'd rub my eyes, blame the flickering fluorescent lights or the hours I was spending in the dim archive. But the changes became undeniable. One morning, Colton walked past my desk. "Still staring at your ancient twin, Jenna?" he asked with a grin. He paused, looking at the daguerreotype I had propped up. "Whoa, did you ever notice how her left eye almost seems to have a twinkle, like yours when you're being cheeky?" My blood ran cold. I knew that twinkle. It was a recent change. I started taking photos of the daguerreotypes with my phone, trying to document the shifts, but the camera never captured what my eyes saw. The digital images remained static, frozen in their original, less menacing state. It made me question my sanity. Was I imagining it? Was the history of Blackwood bleeding into my mind? The journal entries grew more disturbing. Eleonora wrote about a growing sense of losing herself, of her memories fading and being replaced by another's narrative. She detailed specific incidents, like calling her maid by a different name or finding herself in rooms of the estate she didn't remember entering. I found myself doing similar things. I'd call Colton by his predecessor's name. I'd open a drawer in my apartment looking for something I distinctly remembered putting there, only to find it wasn't mine, it was Eleonora's. A delicate silver locket, the kind she described in her journal that I had no memory of ever owning. One night, Alfred Jetter himself noticed. I was staying late, meticulously cleaning the glass on a new display for Eleonora's journal, which was open to a particularly chilling entry. Alfred, passing by, stopped. "Jenna," he said, his voice softer than usual. "You're starting to look gaunt. Are you all right? And I don't mean to be rude, but that necklace you're wearing, it looks like something from the Vance collection. Didn't we just put a similar one in storage?" I instinctively reached for the locket I was wearing. It was indeed the one from Eleonora's journal. I hadn't even consciously put it on. That night I stayed even later. The Historical Society was empty, save for me and the ghosts of its past. A profound unease settled over me. I walked back to the Blackwood collection. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of dried roses and dust, a scent I now recognized as Eleonora's. I approached the display case holding the daguerreotypes. They were arranged in a neat row, and they were all me. Not just similar, but unequivocally my face, starring out from those century-old frames. My hairstyle, my current expression of wide-eyed fear, even the subtle shadows under my eyes from lack of sleep. I stumbled back, knocking over a stand. The clatter echoed. My heart hammered. I looked around wildly, no one, only the silence of the archives. I turned back to the display. The central daguerreotype, the formal portrait, began to ripple like water. Eleonora's face, my face, stretched and blurred, then solidified. Her mouth opened, just a sliver, and I heard a whisper, faint but clear, echoing from the silver plate. "Welcome home, Jenna." I ran. I didn't grab my bag. I didn't lock up. I just ran out into the cool night air, the whisper following me. "I haven't been back to work. Alfred has called, concerned, but I can't bring myself to answer." I look in the mirror now and I see Eleonora Vance staring back, her eyes holding a faint, knowing smile that isn't quite mine. My clothes feel foreign. My thoughts aren't entirely my own. Sometimes when I'm alone, I hum an old, forgotten tune, a melody from another era that I couldn't possibly know. I feel her inside me, a quiet presence growing stronger, pushing me out, erasing me. I don't know who I am anymore. I just know that the archive didn't just preserve a history, it preserved a hunger. And now I think it has found its next meal. I avoid mirrors now, and I can't shake the feeling that she's looking through my eyes, wondering what new life she stepped into.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.